Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I have a mermaid journal to share with you, and it's a design team project for Poppiness, that is Susan Taylor Brown. This journal was inspired by a beautiful journal done by Jibid Neary, and I will leave the link below so that you can have a look at that one. And another very inspiring journal I found online to look at was one by a lady called Wendy S. I'd love you to go over and have a look at that too, so I'll leave a link to that below because I think she would be very appreciative of some more subbies to go over and have a visit of her channel and her beautiful journals. And I've just tied that together with some seam binding ribbon in a really soft aqua green colour, and I've just used a little tiny hitch pin which has a little sparkly diamond in it. So going inside the cover, I have used some a ruffle. I'll just lay that flat so the beads don't get in the way. So that is just a little ruffle I've made out of sari silk, and I put that in a sort of a wave shape down the side of this gorgeous graphic 45 paper, and that gives you the beautiful mermaid. She's sort of a steampunk mermaid there. And I have Take Me to the Sea, and on this side I've used a lovely pearl bead to hang off the side. I've put a pocket here which is a vellum print, and that's an Arthur Rackham print of Undine from the sea, which went with the mermaid theme with the beautiful waves. It's a lovely picture. Inside that I've put a library card, which is one of Jibid Neary's library cards, and the story that I chose was The Girl from the Sea by James Aldridge, which I don't know if any of you have read. It's a lovely children's book, and it's sort of based around Jacques Cousteau, and it's a book that I bought for my nieces when they were young, and it reminded me of the mermaids, so I used that. And on the back I've got Sail from the Bookshelf Of, which is one of Mrs. Cogg's lovely little book labels. So I put that in the front, and I cut it so that it had waves on it, which fits in neatly to the wave shape of the vellum that I cut, and also I cut all the edges of the pages in that shape as well. And some of the pages I have dyed myself with food colourings and sprayed Ranger paints on to give it that sea look, and others come with the kit, and I'll show you as you go through which ones came in the kit. I just did a little wave embossed piece down here as a tuck spot, and put this lovely mermaid on the rocks in there, and added some shells and just a bit of netting type fabric to give it that beach scene. Mermaids This Way is from the kit. This beautiful page here is from the kit, and they are very gorgeous creatures, these mermaids. We've got some seagulls in this one, and another lovely piece that I received in the Bohodaydreams pack of lovely bling fabrics, and I've added quite a few to this that went well with the mermaid sort of shapes of the tail and that kind of thing. Lovely map from the kit. There's a few pages of old maps which bring in the sea, the old sea captain kind of theory with the maps. On this side I have a stencil of a mermaid and a lovely stencil of a sea creature. So we've got jellyfish and all kinds of little critters through here. This is a lovely collage that I just made of the dyed papers that I did. I did some greens and blues, just using the cake decorators powdered dyes, because I had some lovely greens and blues in those, so I've blended those into the colours that Susan used in her kit, so they all go together. She also has a lot of poems and sea ditties and sayings in the kit. And I've got a little tuck spot here on this side, which is a double tuck. I've got Really a Mermaid card, that's from Graphic 45, just tucked in there. And in the back pocket I have made a mermaid tag with a paint chip, and it just has a dictionary definition of mermaid on there, and I've just added a little collaged fabric layered corner to that as a little flower punched out of it. Over there we've got one of the sayings from the kit, one of the quotes. There's such a lot of them, so I won't read them all because they're just scattered through the entire book. So I have a mermaid stamp on some calico here, which I've just trimmed with the pinking shears, and a piece of sari silk trim from Bohodaydreams collection, Sheila. And I've just done a few little mermaid stitches across there. I don't know whether mermaids are very good sewers or not under the sea, but they probably have to mend holes in fishermen's nets. A little shell there on another one of the quotes. And on the back of the fabric you can see the little stitches coming through, which are a bit higgledy-piggledy. And another stamp of a mermaid with her little pet seahorse. This side I'll have some lovely silver threads, some more of the handmade hand-dyed paper, and this is darker on this side, so it's using Deeper Ocean here. This is one of the lovely mermaids from the kit, and I've just left all the little sewing threads hanging like silver threads of mermaid hair just wisping through the book. A lovely little quote there. She's laying in the ocean there, and tucked inside of her I have one of Mrs. Cogg's Ernest Haeckel collection. I've used a couple of different kits. There's a couple of different ones, Sea Life and Creatures. I think I used of those because the vintage sea creatures went so well with the mermaid tales. Speaking of mermaid tales, this is one of the pages from Susan's Poppiness kit, and that has some really lovely colours through it. She also has some lovely lined pages, and they have there's a silhouette of a mermaid in there. So there's lovely writing space, so it's a mixture of writing space and heavily coloured pages. Another mermaid card from the kit there, who looks more like a sea hag than a mermaid, I think. And another of Ernest Haeckel's cards. I've got a pocket in here, and inside the pocket I have an envelope with some little boats on it. So that just tucks into there. And on this side, I think I had it that way around because it looked a little bit like mermaid scales on the back. And I have a poem, and I've just decorated that page with one of the kit add-ons, the mermaid and a little seagull, which I've layered up. And I've got a tiny tag in there with an Australian stamp of sea slugs, which can be found on the Great Barrier Reef in the coral there. They're very pretty. A lovely poem by my favourite poet, Walter de la Mare, about mermaids. And I've splattered that page with all sorts of inks, like Ranger inks, and there's a silver, I can't think what it's called now, silver splatter paint that I've added to to make it more sort of sea and fish-like. So we have a sea anemone here, which is like a type of jellyfish, and just peeking through there we have a mermaid on the green. Lovely mermaid in a fishing net here with her hairbrush, and I've added to that some netting off an old hat, so it kind of looks like a sea net. I've got a lovely little octopus in here, and I've just backed him with some layers of pretty fabric, soft. There's room in there for a tag, and I've just left that tag flat. The Poppiness kit has heaps of tags in it, so you can add to that whatever you like, but as this is quite a thick journal, I didn't want to layer it up too much more. This is a lovely page from the kit, which has beautiful blue shades, and it has like it looks like the rocky bottom of the sea. And I've just added the quotes all the way through the book because there's such a lot that you've got enough for more than one book. There's plenty to choose from, so you can pick your favourites. I have this side a sea dragon, and he's a double pocket. He's a pocket on this side, so I've tucked in some more of the lovely Poppiness tags, and I think they're absolutely gorgeous tags, especially these ones with the green seaweed and the mermaid's tails going through them. They're really pretty. The colours are lovely. So that one, that side, and then I've got another one in the top with another beautiful tail on it. Another tag from the kit which has a mermaid and I think a merman on it, and a crab and a tortoise. There's such a lot to choose from in that kit. It's really full of ideas. So these two pages are more of my dyed pages, and they give you two completely different versions of seafloor, different depths of the sea. So we have a green tag here which I have made from Bohodaydreams Bling Sari silk trim, and I've got a little piece on the top that I felt looked a lot like the scales of a mermaid tail, so I've added those on there, and a little sea star, and just a tassel on the bottom. And I have got a video on how I made those, so if you want to look that up, I'll add it on to the end and you can see how they were made. I've got a little shell on the top, so you can just use that to clip onto your page if you like. I've just had that clipped to the top. Okay, so we've got some more green there, and another big poem which is from the kit. I've got a lovely picture of a seal, and he has some beads running down from the middle. So I've added to all the tails either pearls, gems or shells. So at the bottom we've got a cascade of jewels and things from the cave of the mermaid. Another lovely piece of Bohodaydreams fabric with the lovely, it's got tiny little sequins all over it that look like scales, so it's again that fishtail look. And I've added a picture from the kit to some tempted teal, like a paint chip, and that has a little spot for a tag in behind, so you can have a tag in there. And I've just poked the little pieces of the map so the sailor can find his way across the great oceans in the top there. Very antique looking maps. Some more of the speckled pages, and I've got lots of those throughout the book, and it's a very thick book, so there's plenty in there. Some more line paper. Another one of the gorgeous pictures from the kit, and this is one of my favourites. I really love this one. The colours are so nice in it. They've got a real softness coming through. So we've got the mermaid there with her harp, and a merman reaching up to her from the oceans below, And I've made that one into a little pocket. It's sewn around and it has two more of these lovely tags in the top, which I haven't decorated. I have decorated some throughout, but not all, because it's so fat as it is. Like I said, it takes up a lot of room. But you don't have to, I mean, they're so pretty, you don't have to add anything to them, and you can just write on the back. Got a lovely little metal starfish here, and a piece of rope, like from an old boat or something, or some fishing junk. On this side I've just got a little bit of seaweed, just a die cut of some leaves. So this gorgeous octopus over here, which I really love. Now I think he is from the Graphics Fairy, that one. Here we have a little pocket that I've just tucked the edge over and put an envelope. Now this lovely envelope is a collaged one, and I have a video on the tutorial for this too, which I'll also link at the end of this. And inside the envelope we have a collection of bits and pieces that may be from her seafarer, old sea dog, Love. So we've got a photo of her and her man there. I've got some lovely stamps which have his sailing boat, which he may have washed ashore in and found his mermaid, or maybe, who knows, perhaps he got drowned at sea. The stories are endless. And a lovely old letter, which is a French letter, and I have included in that some mermaid hair. So you can see, I don't know if you can see there because they're very fine threads. I've got some threads of gold which are attached to the letter, and the letter is sort of washed out from being floating around in the sea, and it has a bit of seaweed on the side there in green, which is kind of all washed out. So that's from her love from 1782, and he clearly was a French sailor because he's writing in French. So there we have, she's collected that and kept it obviously, and her picture of her sailor. And I've just tucked that into the back there, and it belongs to the mermaid, and that's her on the front there. These pictures are from the kit, and so too the little quote and the mermaid, and the beautiful Mermaid Tale on the page. It's a lovely page, this one. So I've just tucked her into there and put a little paper clip to stop it from slipping, and a little shell on the bottom. We have a flip up and some more paper from the kit, and a lovely spray painted and pretty coloured piece of cardstock that was gifted to me from a friend. Thank you very much. And I have put on that some netting, a pretty polished shell, a little crab, and a mermaid from the kit there. I've added a pearl, a shell, and a little piece of weed, and an Australian stamp with a lovely fish on it, which is an angelfish. Inside the pocket I have an octopus tucked in there, so that's hanging out the side. Some more pages from the kit, beautiful page here from the kit. And on this side, one of my dyed pages with another poem from the kit, and the silver threads, some more dyed paper. On this side we have one of the beautiful mermaids from the kit. She's beautiful, combing her hair out, and I've just added a few 3D shells, a few jewels, a little bit of bling there, some pearls from the sea, and another one of the tags from the kit in the top. And I've got a little bit of calico down the side of that one, as it's a pocket, and I have sewn onto the back a beautiful lighthouse. I hope you can see. Yeah, that's That lighthouse is one at the very bottom of Australia on the Great Ocean Road. So that's one of our own photos, that one. And inside the pocket I had another Ernst Haeckel with some starfish in there. On this side I have a bit of a collage, and that's just some scraps of book page, a little cutout of a seahorse, some pearls, another little seahorse down there, some of the envelope paper that I dyed under there, and just a bit of muslin cheesecloth and a little one of the add-ons from the kit. And inside I've got a postcard, a mermaid postcard on the back. So maybe that's a postcard from a mermaid to her sea sailor friend, perhaps. It's probably his boat in the distance. So that just tucks under there. We have some maps from the kit, some very old world maps with the most unusual names on them. Holland down here. Another one of these sayings from the kit. So this is a lovely tag I made with a beautiful mermaid on, and she has some lovely sari silk trim here, which is in like really deep blues and lovely greens of the ocean. Green button and a shell button there, and that's just tucked into the lovely pocket from the kit, which has that lovely fish on it and the sea dragon stamp. And a sea dragon is a seahorse, it's an Australian seahorse you'll find in the waters around Australia. Another lovely one from the kit, a mermaid looking out to sea with a shell and a little piece of the scaly fabric. So I've made a fabric pocket here that looks somewhat like the flowers of the sea coral, and I've just got a little trim of the eyelash thread and a little spot that says magic on there. And this one is an embossed tag which has shells and starfish and little sea things, and you can write on the back of that if you like. And I've added to that one of the little tags from the kit with the beautiful mermaid tails on. And at the top we have a little sea anemone type jellyfish, some line pages, some bubbles from the kit, bubbled water page, little seahorse and a shell, one of Arthur Rackham's paintings of Undine again, and some of the silver thread running through the bottom of the page there. It's like seaweed, mermaid hair or something, little silver streaks through the water. Another page from the kit and a beautiful shell, lovely shell. I think that one is from Graphics Fairy. Starfish, shell, beautiful page from the kit. Love this one with the really nice mermaid's tail, fish tail with the scales. Looks like a rocky sea bottom there. Another Ernst Haeckel with the lovely octopus, octopi, some squid and a pineapple fish, Australian stamp at the bottom. Some seaweed, and this sort of looks like sea floor and sand, the sandy floor bottom to me. Got a seagull flying over the ocean there, and some lovely line pages, some more dangles in the middle of that, some lovely pearls and a seashell at the bottom. So all down the bottom you can see all the little bits and pieces hanging out. Here I've got a little boat, which is a 3D boat layered up in some lovely seaweed. Another one of the mermaid pages from the kit, and another one of the little poems. I have a lovely mermaid there who's a stencil. She's beautiful. Some sea pages. One of my favourite cards from the kit is a mermaid just sitting on a rock, sort of looking out over at the sea. And inside that I've got a paint chip, and the words on this were just so classic to the sea and mermaids. Breathless, sailing, aquamarine sea. And on the bottom I've got a little seahorse there, and I've cut out some little some fish shapes. So I hope you can see that okay. Yeah. So that's just a little pocket, a little sea creature on the bottom, curled up. Another shell, a beautiful shell. Some more threads through. Another Arthur Rackham picture. She's sort of sitting in a creek bed there. Undine. His Undine collection. Another shell card from the kit, which is really beautiful, like a little shell full of pearls sitting there, and an invitation from the mermaids which says, "Come to tea with the mermaids, Ocean Current 5, Inlet Delight at 11. Some bubbles. There's lots of writing space in here, even though it's really packed. There's still tons of room for writing all sorts of things. See, a William Shakespeare, a little pocket with the mermaids in, lovely mermaids, and they're collecting bits from a sunken ship that's gone astray. Some more beautiful pages from the kit there. I've got a little pocket there with a seashell on the bottom of it. Lovely ship sailing on the waves. And this is the mermaid's comb, because there seems to be an awful lot of pictures of mermaids combing their hair, so I figured they'd need a nice comb for that job. There's another one over here. Beautiful mermaids. Here we have another one of Sheila's lovely pieces from her Bohodaydreams snippets kits. Her lovely boho fabrics. They're very nice, and I thought that one sort of looked like knots in a rope, so it gave you the seafaring look. And here we have a lovely picture of a seafarer. I thought that was just gorgeous. An old seaman, and he's got a cat curled up in his beard, a bird in his hat, a seagull sitting in his hat, and a fish in his hand. And I just added a feather there from a real seagull that I found on my beach walk the other day. He's gorgeous. A lovely poem here from Walter de la Mare, which is a really nice story about the mermaids, and I've left room in both of those for pockets which you can tuck in, and you can actually write on the back of those, so you've got a nice little spot you can put some hidden writing if you want to in both of those little pieces. Some more of that lovely seaweed. Heaps of writing space, as I said, loads of it. A little pocket here with a zigzag across the bottom. A little collection of bits and pieces. We've got another nice tag. We've got Merchant Seamen's Fund pension ticket, widow of a seaman. Maybe the mermaid became a widow when her seaman sunk his boat, who knows. Some more tags and a lovely card from the kit again. So all kinds of little bits and pieces of add-ons and ephemera there. Have a sea dollar and a lovely little skeleton picture, which kind of looks a bit mermaidish. A pocket, lovely pocket. Another of the fishtail tags. Some more silver threads going through there. Beautiful pocket with a lovely sea mermaid caught in a net and a tag there. A shell, lovely shell, and another saying, and some pearls again dripping from the bottom of the threads. We have another of Ernst Haeckel's gorgeous jellyfish there. They're so pretty and they went so well with the mermaids, I thought. Just added a little bit of life to the sea, the ocean. Another one of my favourite pictures. This one's gorgeous, where she's on the steps of like a castle or home, and she's surprised the man who looks like a prince. We have a dugong here. There, another starfish. Some more writing space. And this gorgeous piece, another piece from Bohodaydreams trim collection. It reminded me of the big sea slug, like was on the stamp earlier, that hangs out on the coral reefs. Just so pretty. So I've made that into a little tuck spot. And we have If Mermaids Wore Gloves, Kaiser patent finger-tipped silk gloves. So we've got a mermaid with gloves on there, tucked inside that one. Another little piece of pretty trim that reminded me very much of coral. So I've got a little sea scene there with the old vintage picture of the sea turtles and tortoises and different amphibians. Here we've got a spotted, what is here, spotted sweet lips. Another one of the coral fish. And just a little collaged piece there with some little fabrics. Another invitation here, an invitation to the Mermaid's Cave at 7:30 p.m. Just tucked in a little, another little quote from the quotes collection. Another one of these gorgeous mermaid tails, so pretty. Just tucked in there. Got some lovely little seaweeds here, and a little shell. Some more of the hand-dyed paper, and another page from the kit. We've got a mermaid in a net being pulled in by the fisherman with a starfish caught in the net, and some very antique looking fish. Another one from the Poppiness kit, lovely page, another one of my favourites with the shell full of pearls. And this one here with the barrel that's been tumbled off a ship, and the Mermaid's Tale. The Mermaid's Tale pocket there with some sea sponges. Lovely sea sponges in there. And I've added a shell and a little piece of lace to that one. Mermaid's Tale. Another one of those bookmarks that I made. And this too is using some of Sheila's lovely Bohodaydreams fabrics from her snippets kits. And this one looked so much like a shell, so I put that one on there. And that's a Mrs. Cogg's Mermaid Collection picture, and I've added a little starfish to that. And I did say that I had the tutorial to that I will add that on the end so you can find that if you want to see how I made those. Over here we've got some lovely jellyfish, and I've just added some sea green to that and a button, and that is a little envelope that folds out, and we've got some more of those beautiful Ernst Haeckel jellyfish in there. Sorry, I've gone off the edge, haven't I? So we've got a glassine envelope and a pocket inside that with some squids and some sea slugs in there, and that just flips back over like that so you can see the jellyfish on the front. Here I have one of the tags that I have decorated just a little bit. I've added the sea slug stamps and some fabric to that, and it has the lovely mermaid tail on the side, so that just tucks in that tuck spot. And another one of those lovely little sayings from the kit here. They're all through the book and they're very nice. To the mermaid the sea was blue, alive with little froth people singing. And that sort of reminded me of the little froth people. That page. So this one is the bubbles under the water, one of those sea dollars, starfish, and another tag that I've just added a little bit of bling to. So we've got like a little starfish piece on the top, some netting. We've got mermen as well as mermaids in this collection, and we have a little piece of just the eyelash trim with the colours in it. Yeah. And another one that I've decorated up there with the stamp which has the walking fish, a red handfish on the top. And a little piece of netting. So it's a very big book, isn't it? So here we've got a little pull-out pocket here with this gorgeous Tasmanian seal from the west coast of Tasmania. Here's a beautiful seal, and some more starfish there. Oops, hard to get in on that angle. We have some more seals there, a little colony of seals. On this side we've got a fabric flip, so you can actually do some secret writing underneath if you want to. Just throwing some fabric along the top there. Another lovely Arthur Rackham pocket there, behind there, that you can poke things in. And that's just one of my sprayed cards, which looks a little bit like sort of floating seaweeds. An envelope, which flips out. So there we have the mermaid envelope that flips out. And all of these are collages from the kit. Collage on the envelope with your mermaids swimming down into the sea and on the rocks. Tuck spot here, and that's another one from the kit. A belly band I've just put across there, which has some lovely mermaids' tails on it. If I turn it this way you can probably see it better. I hope. That light's not casting too many shadows. I have a die cut here of some nice seaweed, a lovely octopussy, and some nice words from a poem from the quotes. It's a lovely poem. Some more of the lovely papers, and the beautiful mermaid combing her hair. So we have a turtle here, and I've made a little tuck spot there with just some fabric pocket there, so you can put something in behind and in front, just with the button. Another one of those lovely bookmarks that I made there. Some of the pretty sari silk fabric. This one has a moon and stars, moon and sun, and a little dangle on it. and that goes very well with the poem that's all about Straight from the Moon on the other side. Some more pages from the book, from the kit, and a lovely pocket. So we've got the mermaids there, and this one has a lovely little jewel bag which belongs to a mermaid. You can see it's got a little mermaid there, and it has some of her pearls and her little jewels and diamantes and shells in her little collection that she's saved up. Another lovely sea page from the kit, that gorgeous sailing ship. It looks like it's in a bit of trouble. And the end of the book. So this page here comes from Graphic 45. Has a lovely little sea turtle on the corner there. A pretty little sea turtle. And that's the back. So we have come to the end of the journey. The end of the mermaid story. So there we are. So I hope you enjoyed having a look at the mermaid book today. I know it's a very big book and it's quite a lot to get through. See you next time with a new story. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.